Everybody, this is Chad Armijo. Yeah, it's been a while. Um, I've got a whole adventure that went through in the last few years. I'm sure all of you did as well. This video I wanted to make just kind of discuss the state of the world because things do not feel normal right now, right? Things feel really off in this world. Things feel like they are imploding on themselves. Now, let me know if I'm the only one feeling this. Yeah, let me know. But I've talked to a few other people, and I have friends and family that have been kind of discussing the same thing, that we are in such a time of change and turmoil in this world, this universe. Um, I believe it's for the better, but what people are beginning to realize, and I'm seeing this happen with a lot of the older generation that were hoping to go back to the normalcy of things. Um, I feel bad because a lot of them are retired. They want to go back to vacationing and to doing all these things that they enjoyed. Well, we know that the vacation destinations are hurting for people to work. We know that the so-called fine dining and fine service sectors are hurting for people. And so even these industries that you expect, somewhat decent service or anything like that, you're not going to get it these days. Everything's changed. This world has changed. It's changed since that whole virus that we can't talk about because we're getting censored now. So I think it's interesting that we've seen this level of censorship through all the tech companies, through the media, and this is kind of a red flag as to governments collapsing when they try to censor things so blatantly and take away those rights of people to express themselves in certain manners. Now, the problem is that people want freedom of speech. People want freedom of movement, freedom to be, and especially when you live in a country like I do, like America, where freedoms are generally taken for granted. These people get really upset, and the problem is that when you have freedom of speech, you have to take the bad with the good. And I'm seeing a lot of one side saying, I want freedom of speech, but I don't like what this person's saying, so let's cancel them. Then I see the other side saying, we want freedom of speech, but I don't like what this person is saying, so let's cancel them. Right? And so these people don't want freedom of speech. They want things to mimic how they think, and they want to have that ethnocentrism, which is, the world revolves around them type of world, and it just doesn't work like that. And so we're seeing these frustrations happen because previously you could go into a store and boss somebody around and say, I need this and this and this, and you need to be snappy about it. Now most of these employers are going to look at you and say, get out, don't behave like this. So we're seeing people kind of lose it. We're seeing our major governments start to collapse under their own, under their own pressures. Basically, they've created all themselves, and this is all what has been kind of leading up to where we are now, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse for a lot of people. And this is going to get a little it's going to seem a little bit out of the ordinary here, but all the studies and all the reading and research that I had done into this coming transition into the 5D world is where we're going. And for those of you who don't know what that means, we've been in this 3D world for thousands of years, where it's very basic. We had our basic needs, and we were driven by more animalistic type of thinking and behaviors. And so this is our basic needs of food, shelter, and reproduction, basically. And so and then around that, we're just collecting stuff, right? Junk that we had. And I'm not sure if you have older parents out there or any older friends or family, but they tended to collect a lot of stuff. I know my parents still have garage full of stuff that, from my childhood, from my siblings' that they left behind. And I was a big believer at once upon a time of saving your stuff, and then I realized we can only use so many things at a certain time. The concept of storage units makes sense. If you're storing a car, automobile that's needs to be protected, or maybe some valuable items. But if you're just storing stuff because you have too much stuff for your house, it just doesn't make sense to me. To each their own. So I'm not saying it's wrong or bad, but I'm just saying that we need to let go. And this is where this world has been taking us. This universe has been taking us. It's about letting go of more and more things that we think we need. Things that we have convinced ourselves that we need, right? And so what we're realizing is we don't need any of that stuff. We don't need most of the stuff. What we need is to be surrounded by people who love us, people who, support us and care about us in a manner that, others don't. Maybe we don't even care about ourselves as much. And that's something that we need to change, something that we need to stop and look at differently from a perspective. There were so many people prior to 2020 saying that I have to have this so I can feel better about myself. I need this car, I need this house, I need this certain outfit, I need this diamond ring. And we're seeing these younger generations, the millennials, the Generation Z, and they're saying, no, screw that, we don't need any of that. We can rent our music, right? And I still have 300 plus CDs somewhere in a garage, in our garage, that they were my childhood. They were all what I collected, and now everything's digital. And so we don't need this stuff anymore. We don't need, even they're turning their backs on buying homes. They're seeing that people got in over their heads a lot of times, especially when we had that crash in 2008. So something is not right. Something is not aligned the way it was. It's almost like we got knocked off our axis. We've got knocked off somehow with our balance, our timeline. And what we're doing, and this is what the exciting part is we're creating a new timeline, creating a new balance, right? And we're doing that through saying we're done. We're done being a slave to the system. We're done following the advertisements, referrals to go buy this or buy that. We're done trying to keep up with the Joneses, our neighbors, right? That's just a saying that says that you try to keep up with whatever they got, you have to get something better, right? And so we're done doing all this stuff. We're done following this path that has been laid out by somebody or some other source other than ourselves. And so we're starting to look at ourselves and say, yeah, this is what I want. I want to create my own income. I want to create my own life. I want to just focus myself on things that I enjoy and get rid of the things that I don't. And this is where we are, and this is the reason that we've come like this direction and this far. It's because we've been pushed that way. Once 2020 hit, we saw the damage that the governments are doing to people. We saw the damage that, and I'm not saying that complete damage that governments do. There's always good points and bad points, but we're seeing these things falter. We're seeing governments collapse in a manner. We're seeing division among our constituents, whether it's in the U.S., in UK, and all around the world. We're seeing these governments having all these different issues they never had before, and they're having to deal with it. We're watching Russia invade Ukraine right now, and pretty much seal its own fate as they keep continuously losing more and more people, more and more weapons, more and more this and that. We're watching China collapse now with all their extended basically they collapsed their economy through their real estate. And there's a few good resources for this on YouTube. It's hard to find because China's still censoring even in the US. So we have to do our own digging. We have to do our own research, and a lot of people are. So there's something not quite right in this world. And the reason for that is because we have to go through these painful times, these times of uncertainty. We have to see this corruption. It has to come up to the top. This is the dark night of the soul that we're going through. And basically we're just churning up all this yucky stuff that we've tried to, governments have tried to bury, people have tried to bury, and we may be seeing this in ourselves too, where these thought processes and these actions that we had been doing in the past start to hit us differently, where we're like, okay, well, this is no longer serving me. I can no longer do this. And so what I'm recommending is you continue on your own path. Find a guide or a teacher if you need to, somebody that you can look to when you get confused, when you get a little bit overwhelmed, and basically when you need balance in your life. There are some great teachers online. I'm going to be back to posting twice a week. I had kind of burned myself out before, and I'll create a video to tell all the things that I've been going through too, to catch up. But I think that now is the time that those of us who are strong-willed, who have this power of positivity and can hold on to a positive sort of vibrations and frequencies, we're going to be very successful here. We're going to see this world transform into something beautiful, and it's going to be beautiful for a lot more people. The downside of this is we're going to see the opposite happen for a lot of people as well. Those who cannot hold themselves in a positive light, cannot be focused on these positive things that are coming, and instead decide to focus on all the negative stuff that's happening around, they're going to fall into more of despair, more worry, more it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road ahead for them. And this is part of what we've learned, books by Dolores Cannon, teachers like Ralph Smart or Aaron Doughty. You can find them online as well. Sheila Seppi, she's another good one. I think hers is a book. I'll try to find that as well. But what we're doing is we're transitioning our whole universe. Our whole universe is transitioning to something more positive. But we're not just transitioning, we're splitting. So we're going to see a split and a division, which we're already seeing pretty visible all around the world. Is division happening between groups of people. And so those that stay positive are going to have this wonderful, beautiful road ahead of them. And the world is going to look a lot better. For those who continue to follow that darker path, the worry, the fear, whatever the media is telling them, it's going to be very difficult. And we're going to have to sit back and observe that without the emotion behind it. So what I suggest, those of you who are strong enough, keep doing your meditations, continue finding what stokes your passion, your flame, and keeps you motivated to be loving, caring. And just remember that everybody around the world is going through something. There's going to be people that are cranky. There's going to be people that are downright rude. And those are the people that need the most love and attention. So be sure to give that to them. And yes, there are going to be some Karens out there and some Chads. I know it's tough, but those are the people that are the most lost. Give them your love, give them your care, and then walk away and save your energy. Okay? All right, I love you all. Good to see you. And I'll be creating more twice a week, more videos. Thanks.